Okay.
Yeah, we have Mr. Sai and Ignesh. We can start.
Okay, sure.
Sai and Ignesh, can you brief yourself?
Hello.
So I was starting with introduction only. So let me introduce myself, guys, and then I would love to understand about you also, like what you are currently doing, how much experience you guys already have, and what is your expectation from the course. That is most important. So my name is Anurag Yadav. I have 7 years of experience in data engineering. I have started my career with big data and Hadoop technologies, and then I switched to Google Cloud. I have almost 4 years of experience in Google Cloud. I'm Google Cloud certified data engineer also. I'm working for an e-commerce firm where I'm lead data engineer. So basically, that's my brief introduction, and I'm looking forward to connect with you guys, and we'll discuss Google Cloud platform. We'll try to cover the course curriculum in next 30 hours. So we'll share the detailed plan, but let's start with your introduction, and most importantly, what kind of current technology exposure you have, and what is your expectation from the course. I mean, by end of these 30 hours, what all things you should know, and where do you want to utilize this knowledge, which means, are you preparing for any interview, or are you preparing for Google Cloud certification exam? Are you preparing for both? That is also necessary, because I'll try to plan or customize the course according to the motivations of the class. Cool. So maybe Yagnesh, you can start with your introduction.
Yeah, thanks, Anurag. Thanks for that. So myself, actually, Ignesh, I'm having overall of 11 years of experience in the IT industry, and as you said, I'm looking for the opportunity on the data engineer positions. So I have exposure to the ETL tool, which is Informatica, and also I have worked with many databases like PL/SQL, Teradata, and SQL Server, as well as GB2 and all. So I want to shift my technology from the on-prem tools to the cloud, towards the cloud side. So I want to explore, and I want to apply for the open positions, if any, so that I can move to the digital and cloud technologies. So I have a good experience on the ETL tool, Informatica, and data warehousing skills. Anurag.
Any programming language you're already aware of, or you have good hands-on?
I don't have any hands-on on any of the programming. I am good at SQL. That's what I should say.
Understood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And any prior experience of Google Cloud or any other cloud?
I don't have any prior experience on cloud technologies, ideally speaking.
No issues. We'll try to create course curriculum, something like where you do not get too much of programming, but you need hands-on programming. So we'll try to pick these things gradually, so that you learn the programming sideways also.
Okay, sure.
Cool. Thanks. Hi Sai, you can go next.
Yeah, hi Anurag. So okay, so I have approximately 2.5 or maybe 3 years of experience in software and IT. But apart from that, I have a career break which is around 4 years. So I was into totally different thing when compared to IT. So yeah, so so for 2 years I was working on a platform called Board Software. So this is a business intelligence and corporate performance management software. So I was working on it, and after that, yeah, it's just like 4 months, 5 months back, I received my software job once again, and currently I'm working on SQL and a little bit of Python. And the SQL part currently I am doing on BigQuery. So I have like touch with, not like completely exposure of it, but a touch with Google Cloud in that sense. Yeah, so this is my work profile.
Awesome. So I mean, I would have loved if rest two people have joined, but from conversation with you and Yagnesh, I understood you guys do not have much exposure on programming part of it. So we'll try to pick up Python as the programming language because you anyways have to learn a new language, and Python would be the best one for all the data engineering work. Usually what happens, some people have Java experience, then and if the whole class have Java experience, we can design a lot of things in Java, and then we can pick Python briefly. But in our class, we can dedicatedly work everything on Python. So the cloud data flow and other ETL tools, wherever we need a programming part in any orchestration or anywhere, we'll pick Python. That is one thing that I want to tell you in very beginning. Another thing that I understood, so you guys know SQL really well. It would be really easy for you to pick up tools like BigQuery. That will come organically. There would be few additional things in BigQuery that you might not be aware, which platform basically explains or platform provides. For example, scheduling of BigQuery, alerting, monitoring of BigQuery. And if you're already aware of like PostgreSQL scripting, you will find scripting part of BigQuery quite easy, but then orchestration part of the BigQuery scripts, those things would be new to you. Also, since I'm currently working as a data engineer and my whole experience lies in this domain, whenever I take interviews, I try to check few concepts whenever I try to assess a candidate on BigQuery specifically. So I'll try to focus on those parts also. And very few candidates in current field domain knows how to work on BigQuery CLI, which is very basic thing. So we'll focus on those parts also. So the BigQuery SQL, I will not focus very much because you guys already know SQL. So SQL, I'll not focus on programming of SQL. I'll show you how to code in BigQuery, what kind of aggregations are available, what kind of functions are available, how to orchestrate, run, and all those. Post BigQuery, there would be other tools that I majorly use. For example, there is a tool called Cloud Data Flow. That is like default tool for any transformation we do in GCP. Like Informatica is ETL tool in GCP. Whenever we want to consume data from a streaming source or a big batch source, we try to write a data flow program, and then that data flow program can be written in Java, Python, or Scala. We will prefer Python for our learning, and then we can write data into any of the destination source system. I'll quickly share my screen, and basically this is how I want to start. So you might already have got the course curriculum, and we'll try to adhere it most of the time, but there would be time where I would, instead of that, I would start. Sorry, one second. So I'm not a. Hey, I'll be joining this meeting in a second because I'm not able to share my screen, and I provided permission, and it will ask me to rejoin. Okay, so just wait for 10 seconds. I will join quickly.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Thanks, guys. And really sorry, I was not aware that I'm not able to share my screen. So let me share now. Do let me know if you guys are able to see it.
Yeah, we're able to.
Cool. Let me share this. So you must be seeing my Chrome, right?
Yes, yes.
So how I want to shape this discussion. In very beginning, I want to cover these things which is listed on the left panel. And in data engineering, you should know little about everything, and I mean you should get expertise on few things. So we should know what these are, at least from names, so that whenever a use case comes, you know this particular use case is best suited for this particular tool. So we'll be covering in first 1-2 sessions, we'll be covering these tools, what are they, where they are useful, because a lot of tool would be similar to each other. For example, Spanner is also a SQL. SQL is also a SQL. Alloy DB is something new, which is again a SQL, and there would be Cloud SQL, which is conventional SQL, which I use or which I have seen industry using everywhere. So these are SQL flavors only, but they provide you 3-4 options. In memory store also, you will see Redis, Memcache. Both are in memory databases, but they provide multiple options. So I want you all to know what are these tools, why they are listed, and where we need to use it. And once we are aware of, at least from looking at the name, once we are aware of what all tools are, basic tools that I use on my daily basis, and again those are part of curriculum. So I'll basically try to explain you how cloud function is useful, and we'll try to write a small program to see how we orchestrate things using cloud function. So that would be one thing. There would be Composer, which is another orchestration tool. We will learn about different storages like cloud storage. What is this? What is file storage? Then what is Bigtable data store? And what is Firestore? In SQL, we'll cover Cloud SQL. In data warehousing, we will cover BigQuery. For transformations, we will cover Dataproc, PubSub, and Dataflow. Composer would be our orchestration tool. We'll cover this thing also. And I will give you brief introduction about rest of the things. For example, this is data stream is something new that they just now created. And I don't know if much of people are using it, but it is a CDC tool. You can design your own CDC tool using Dataflow, writing a code, but this is something they're providing as an offering. IoT core is for IoT applications. We can just understood. Looker is the Looker dashboard. So whatever we'll be exploring in dashboard side, we'll try to use Looker. There are 2 more tools: Data Prep, Data Fusion. Data Fusion is conventionally what you guys. I mean, since you know already about Informatica, so the GCP offering something related to Informatica is Data Fusion. Data Prep is another ETL like tool, which is primarily used for data cleansing. There are few tools which is specific to domain. For example, this is they basically designed an offering for healthcare domain, because healthcare domain will have a lot of restrictions. We'll cover those. Similarly, life sciences will have a lot of restrictions, for which they designed a separate tool. And then there are AI tools. So we will cover all those APIs. For example, speech to text is already there, data labeling document. These are pre-trained APIs that we can use. So we'll explore or how to reuse it. And then we'll try to train or model one of our program using AI platform and Kubeflow if time allows. So this is how we will start, and then we'll adhere whatever the course curriculum is already being shared with you. And in course curriculum, the first part is basically about all the tools, how we design an architecture, how we decide on a particular storage, how we decide a particular tool. And the second part is the implementation of data pipeline. That would be the core of the course. Second and third part, since you build some base from the first module, in second module you will be implementing a lot of things. For example, you will be implementing a data flow pipeline to see how to connect different tools, how to transform data, what are transformations available, how to write a transformation. And since you guys are new to programming also, we'll try to start with 0 of the program, and will not try to run very intermediate level of program unless our learning curve is really good. I mean, if you guys are able to pick up really fast, we can go to advanced levels, but I will try to start with the basic one, and I'll try to leave you till an intermediate stage so that you can actually contribute in a data engineering pipeline. So that would be the program for second module. Third module is all about your basically ML part of the operations. So we'll cover the already APIs. We'll see how to train a model, and how to use BigQuery as a ML thing. Although this BigQuery ML is not very much popular, because conventional ML people know Python, so they prefer writing Python. I have seen only one case in my 6-7 years of experience where people are using BigQuery ML, but we'll learn how you can train something in BigQuery. So that is also available. And the last part would be the most important part. Reason being, a lot of data engineers know about the processing, but they do not know how to control excesses, how to add people, how to remove people, how to grant permissions, how to host a solution. So we'll try to touch base on those things, because those things are usually supported by DevOps teams. But in some scenarios, if you're working in a startup, you might not get a dedicated DevOps resource, and you'll have to do those things by yourself. So you should know what are those things. So the fourth module would be basically the security and key management part of it, which is extension of data engineering, not core data engineering, but it's a good thing to know. So that's how we'll divide our lectures. My personal preference would be to keep a 90-minute lecture each day, because I don't want to discontinue, or I do not want to close call on something. I do not want to teach half of the concept one day and half of the concept second day. So we'll try to stretch a little. Instead of 1 hour, I want to keep a 1.5 hour of class, 90-minute, and we'll try to start a topic and we'll try to complete it on the same lecture, so that we have a fresh topic tomorrow and you have a complete understanding, so that you can process the lecture throughout the day. So that would be the plan, 1.5 hour of class each day. And I would prefer a 5-day class, 5-day a week classes, so that we cover one module in 1 week. And that's how I want to continue for 4 weeks. That would be the design or the structure of classes. And that's probably it. Any questions or suggestions from your side, guys? Also, one last question from you. Have you guys ever created free tier account of GCP?
No, we haven't created actually.
Awesome. So what we can do, so it would be really good if you have your own Google Cloud platform. And how you can do that is, so Google Cloud provides $300 trial account, which means you can explore every functionality of Google Cloud, and they are already giving you $300, so you won't be paying anything. Only thing that is required is one credit card. So you guys can create a free tier account, and then whatever we are discussing, you can actually try to implement either in the class or after the class, so that you kind of learn whatever your whatever theoretical concepts you're knowing. So for example, if I'm telling you about different offerings, you should also go to your cloud console and open those APIs and see how they look, how they feel, what kind of words and texts are there, so that you feel comfortable around those things. So I'll heavily recommend to create a free trial account, and then I'll using my free trial, you guys can use your free trial, and then we can and then that's how we'll be basically implementing everything on GCP. Moreover, it would be really useful, because I would like you to learn CLI part of GCP. So I would encourage you to, I'll teach you how to install Cloud SDK in your systems, so that we try to run few things through CLI only in all of the organizations where security is a concern. For example, if you will ever join a company which is banking based, you will never get your Google Cloud Console everywhere. A lot of things you'll be doing from your own system, and you will have Google Cloud SDK installed in your system. So you need to learn that part, because there would be good scenarios where you're using only own computer. So we'll try to learn that thing also. For that, you need to have your own free tier account. Okay.
Got it.
Cool.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
actually, I have an hot stop in 15 minutes like that. So as this is the first session, so I want to join and I want to understand like what are the details and all. So once I got the details, I definitely will get back to Ganesh, I believe, who is coordinating from my side. So it's a nice explanation as well, Anurag. So We will try to explore the things more. Okay.
Right. Awesome. It's okay. I mean, this was just an introduction session. We'll organize our sessions maybe from Monday. I mean, I'll prefer Monday so that we have a complete week to go through a concept, and then we'll have 2 days to I mean, reread everything that we went through. So that's okay. I mean, you can feel free to drop off. That was it from my side also. But Sai, do you have any point to add?
Yeah, so firstly, like 30 hours of sessions would be enough to cover all these things which are part of GCP training. This is like
Yes.
my first question.
Yes. So in those 30 hours, we'll be focusing on hands-on practices more, and we frankly, I can teach you 50 hours of theory, and you won't be feeling confident enough to code anything. And I can give you 30 hours of, 20-30 hours of hands-on coding experience. You will be aware of the tool, and you will be confident enough to code. Coding is a built-on process. For example, I can tell you 10 libraries in classes, and if you're liking it, you will basically explore more and try to solve complex problems. So I will try to tell you how to read a particular GCP dataset, what kind of common transformations you can do, and what kind of common databases we use in general. But once you're comfortable with that, you will be able to understand a lot of resources that is available, and that's how you'll be building on top of it. So this is 0 to 1 class. You will be able to learn everything at an intermediate level. To gain an expertise, it will require a year of process. Once you're working on GCP for a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, dedicatedly on 2-3 tools, solving actual business problem, 2-3 business problems, then you will gain that expertise confidence. So for 0 to intermediate, yes, 30 hours will be sufficient. To gain an expertise, you will need way more than 30 hours. You'll need a year of GCP exposure. So that is something that you'll have to practice going forward.
Okay.
Okay. And basically by end of each session, I'll be teaching you some concept, but you can like if time allows you, you can explore more each day, and we can discuss that thing apart from our class. For example, let's say I told you about data flow out. I told you basic operations, and you started reading GitHub. You found a couple of codes which are doing some advanced level of transformation. You can come back to me, and we can discuss that thing as a that thing separately also. I mean, I can help you to build those codes, run those codes, or if you're stuck anywhere, I can explain you what they're trying to do there. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Cool. You had another question also.
Yeah. So, and the other thing is, so yeah, especially covering the topics and all is one thing, and that is the most important thing. And how about I assume that this will be like very much helpful for in case if we are taking the GCP data engineer certification.
If you're targeting that, exactly that's what that was my initial question. So look, I have been in that exam. So the pattern of exam is they'll ask you situational questions, concept based questions. Now question will be something like that. uh, uh, Suppose you, so one of the real question was one of your teammate is joining and he's a data engineer. You need to restrict him on his BigQuery access. What you will do? So these kind of question you will be able to answer by end of this session. But designing an architecture is something that comes. For example, there would be question like you have to design an architecture for a streaming job. Now there could be good so you will build in understanding that you can attempt this question. But if you want to focus on GCP examination, I would love you to prepare few questions. So if you want, I can give 5-10 questions in end of the session, or we can discuss those questions, and you can see what kind of questions they are. So in GCP certification exam, they'll not ask you programming questions. They'll not ask you what you know in cloud data flow, how you can code cloud data flow. They'll ask you very technical or very situation based questions, solution oriented questions. For that, if your end goal is that, you can let me know. By end of each session, I will give you relevant questions which they ask on that particular topic, and you can practice those questions going forward, so that you are getting prepared for that thing also. Okay.
Got it.
So
Yeah.
my broader point is, there would be a disjoint, and this is a very that is like a very tough thing which I know. So I try to ask students in beginning only, if you're preparing for GCP exam, we have to read a lot more theory, because they are not going to ask you how to code. In fact, one of my student, he passed the exam, he never coded anything on GCP. He's still not confident on coding part of GCP, but he knows everything. If you ask him design this architecture, he'll be designing the architecture. But if you'll ask him code data flow, he might feel a little helpless, and he might go to Google for basic coding also. So that happens. What we'll try to do, I want you to be a data engineer first, and if you're really interested in certification, we can practice problems end of the session. I can give you 5-10 problems that actually came in exam, and you can practice that, and that's how you'll be able to prepare both. Cool,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, that sounds good. Like, okay. Anyways,
So you're targeting GCP exam also?
not exactly targeting, but yeah. So of course, the primary thing is that I should be having hands-on on GCP and able to work on it. And at the same time, I think, in my assumption, it is like certification is somewhere like a recognition that, okay, uh, this
Right.
guy has some level of expertise or some level of understanding of the system.
Right. So if you go to the consulting part of the technical world, certification will help you a lot. If you go to the product part of the world, certification will not be really useful. I have been in both the sides, so I know the value of certification in Accenture, Deloitte, or Cognizant, or all other companies are way more, because they sell your certification to client. They'll charge premium if you're certified, so they will value the certification. But if you go to a product company, they won't value. And in fact, in my current e-commerce product company, no one is certified apart from me, and it doesn't make any difference also. They are really good in what they're doing. So that's up to you. But since you already told me, I'll give you few questions in the very beginning only, that these kind of questions they'll ask on BigQuery, these kind of questions they'll ask on Cloud Data Flow, so that you can practice or prepare. And heavily certification based modules would be first module and fourth module, because first module would be heavily theoretical, fourth module would be semi theoretical, semi hands-on. So all first and fourth module will have maximum number of the questions that will come in certification exam.
Okay. Yeah, got it, Anurag.
Cool. Any other questions?
Yeah, that's it from mine.
Cool. So this was just an intro session, so that I understood your expectation, and I set my expectation with you guys. I wished if basically, Ganesh, it would have been better if the rest two candidates would have joined, so that we can have a session with them also. But that's it from my side. We can schedule our regular classes, and we can start discussing the module contents.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Anurag.
Thank you, Ignesh. Thanks, Sai.
Thank you, Anurag.
Yeah. Sai, any other questions from your end? Sai or Agnesh?
No, Ganesh, as of now.
Yeah,
Sure, then
that's
post
it
this
from me.
class and this demo, we'll have a discussion personally. Then if you have any questions, you can ask me. We'll plan accordingly.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Anurag. Thanks for your time. And I'll just check with Ignesh and Sai and other people also. We'll have a class very soon.
Okay.
Okay, Ganesh. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
guys. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Right.